a minute. All right, everyone, I'm gonna make sure I have access to put you guys into groups. I might have to go steal the host from Sarah. Yeah, okay, let me go steal the host from Sarah and then we'll get started. Make sure you guys have your materials that I sent printed out or up on the computer or something. And give me just 1 second and I'll be back and we'll get started. All right, now I have access to host things. This person is still texting me. I have 5 text messages from this person. Okay. Let me. Okay. Let me share my screen. Can everyone hear me okay? Now this is going to be interactive, so I need you guys to talk to me because me and Crystal are in here by ourselves right now until Sarah Reagan gets here. So we need to hear from other people too. All right, we're gonna start from this slide. Where's my button? All right. How is everyone enjoying this weather? Is everyone loving this weather?
Yes, best season ever.
So nice. I am really enjoying it myself. So, okay. Everyone has their books. So first of all, the 6 personal perspectives is all about really yourself personally. It can be about your business too, but there's different things that we'll be going over in the next 3 months. Our plan is to do this twice a month to get through the rest of the year. So the next one will be the 80-20 rule, which is about making yourself a success list and to-do list. So if you're a to-do list person, we'll go over that. And then we'll move on into the other perspectives. But today is about commitment to self-mastery. So let's talk about mastery for a second. When you think about mastery, or even someone who has mastered something, who has an example of someone that comes to mind? Someone who has mastered something.
I think for me, it would be definitely my mentor, Jennifer McDaniel, because she is a great friend to just relate.
Hey, Austin, you kind of sound like you have a really bad cold and very hoarse. I think it's the wind. Maybe.
Okay. Hold on.
Okay. So I have no idea what you said. So does someone else have an example while Austin figures out why he sounds like he has been talking a very long time?
Looks like he's outside.
Yeah, I think it's because he's outside. Or singing those songs. He's been practicing singing those songs, right? So, okay. So who, while Austin works his way inside, has an example of someone who has mastered something? Who comes to mind?
I would say, as far as an athlete, I would say LeBron James.
Yeah, that's a great one. So, do you think that it just suddenly he woke up one day and he was great at what he's doing?
No, I believe it's his hard work and his determination. You know, he's willing to do what some of the other people aren't doing, and he spends a lot of money on his personal training.
Yeah. Okay, that's a great example. Who else do y'all think of? Someone who has mastered something? No one else can think of anyone?
I'm thinking of a billionaire like Bill Gates.
Yeah, Bill Gates has mastered in some level handling business things and money. Yeah.
Warren Buffett.
Yeah, Warren Buffett. Nina, were you gonna say something? I saw you unmute.
Gary Keller.
Gary Keller. Yeah, that's a great one. He has definitely taken the time and commitment and to get to know the industry and everything. So what comes along with mastering something besides learning about it and developing the skills? What do you think is the one thing that really helps someone master something?
Practice.
Experience and failure.
Okay. Can you elaborate on that one?
I think that you have to be willing to fail over and over again before you master something.
Yeah.
So the experience of getting out there and just doing it, getting out of your comfort zone and being willing to fail at something in order to master it.
That's great. What else? Okay.
and that things can
Awesome.
Still.
Still count. I don't know. I think it's your buds.
Yeah.
It must be your buds. I don't know what those are actually called. Now I can't hear you at all.
Can you hear me now?
Ah, there you go.
Much better.
Must have been these. I've dropped these things. They've been out in the. I mean, they've been weathered. They've been weathered.
Okay, so what were you
But
gonna say?
just really, I don't even remember. I don't even remember. Let me
Okay, so we're
think of
talking
it.
about someone who you think is a master at something.
Oh, yes, just the mastery of something. I mean, of course, Gary Keller, because I mean, just from what he provides with his, I mean, Keller Williams staff and team, and I mean, it's really like a family. So just mastering how to give the training that makes everybody succeed. I mean, that's a awesome accomplishment. And I really look up to him a lot. And I mean, especially like people that I work closely with, like my mentor, Jennifer McDaniel, our team lead. I mean, just watching and learning, and growing from like just the feedback of other people. I mean, that's a really good thing for me and that helps me a lot. So.
So, what does it take to master something? If you want to master something, what does it take? You mentioned practice, dedication, passion. I think that's a big one. I feel like you have to be passionate about something to really master it. So once upon a time, I thought that I was passionate about running, and I'm not passionate about running. I never was passionate about running, but I really wanted to be. But I didn't put in that effort that would make me a master of it. Because in the back of my mind, I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it.
It felt like a chore.
It felt like a chore. So I feel like to really be a master at something, you really have to have a passion to do it. What else? What else does it take to really master something, do you think? And it can be anything, not just personally, but knowledge, yeah. You have to learn, training and stuff. And even here, it's a possession of great knowledge, skills, and habits that make one a master of a subject. Habits is also a big thing. Another reason why I didn't like running is because I had to do it all the time to be better at it, and I just didn't want to do it.
That's a circle of influence too.
Yeah,
So
circle
you're
of
around
influence.
people that your support system.
Support system, yeah, it's a big one. You have to have those people that come behind you and push you when you want to be whatever it is. You want to be a better cook. I'm sure people will love to taste your food. I'm up for that. If you want to practice cooking, I'm all about taste testing things. So, yeah. Spirit.
That's something we do have a passion about.
Eating.
We love food.
We love food.
We're passionate about it.
It's the real estate 30, I think.
Yes.
That when you
Yes,
become a
it
real
is.
estate agent, you gain that 30 pounds real fast.
Yeah.
And I can relate to that.
Okay.
It's all the car eating.
Yes,
Like,
the car
you travel
eating. And there's
constantly.
Starbucks.
You're eating snacks in the Starbucks and the drive-through and the, the little bags of chips from the grocery or the gas station when you stop to get gas.
Yeah. All right, so we're talking about self-mastery. So self-mastery is the possession of great knowledge, skills, and habits that make you the master of you. So the master of yourself. So there's 3 things that you got to commit to achieve self-mastery, and they're right there on your screen. So what are they?
Know your goals,
Yeah, you got to know your goal, your goals, your
strengths,
gifts,
weaknesses.
Yeah. And I
Know how
think
to work
number
with them.
3 is the most important, knowing how to work with both of them to reach your goal. But first you have to know your goal to get there. If you don't know whatever you want to master, then how do you know what you need to do? How do you know the time blocking you need to do? How do you know what books you need to read? What training you need to take? It's all about really knowing your goals first, and then knowing your strengths and weaknesses. And I think that has a lot to do with being honest with yourself, because I know there are definitely things that I think are my strengths that really aren't, and those can end up hindering me. So you have to really, I think, be honest with yourself to really name your strengths and weaknesses, and then how to work with both of them. And that could be a thing with just realizing that some things have to change,
Mhm.
and that can be hard. Having this change your, I don't know,
Your habits.
your habits alone
Yeah.
just could really could be hard, but it's all about committing to achieving self-mastery and the master of you. Okay, so let's put the pieces together to achieving. Let's talk about mastery first. So name a goal that one might have. Doesn't matter what it is, just name one.
The number of houses they want to close, or the number of people they want to add to their database each week.
Okay, so let's do the database. That's awesome. All right, so this person is wanting to add, let's say, 200 people to their database a month. Is that a lot? I don't know. A week? Something
Well,
like
I mean, Ignite is encouraging 10 people a week.
that. Okay,
So, I mean, that's 40 people a month.
okay. We'll do 40 people a month to go with Ignite for those taking Ignite. What are some strengths and weaknesses that might come along with growing your database?
Weaknesses could be fear of rejection or fear of reaching out to new people.
Yeah.
And just the uncomfortableness. I mean, even if a person is very outgoing and everything, it still can be very uncomfortable just to approach somebody in a manner of like, whether it be at the grocery store or something. It's just like getting over the fear of one, rejection, but also just kind of understanding that and being comfortable with like being okay with just like being out there. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's getting yourself outside your comfort zone.
All right, so I also feel like it's funny that it's easier to name weaknesses
Yeah.
than strengths.
Oh, yeah.
So what are, we've named two, so what about strengths? What are some strengths you might have or this person might have to grow the database?
Sharing their knowledge of the business,
Okay,
that ability.
what else?
The ability to time block and stay on task.
Yeah. That's a great one.
Yes.
Is there any others?
Being comfortable with yourself
Mm-hmm.
and your knowledge.
Yeah. Because you could know your stuff but not know how to present it.
Right.
You know?
Also, follow up.
Yeah, follow up.
Having a strength and follow up.
Yeah. So, okay, so now we're aware of this person's strengths and weaknesses, and then you put a plan together. We're putting the pieces together that once you're aware of this. So what kind of things, since this is obviously an agent, can be offered to help this person?
Script practice.
Script practice.
Maybe an accountability part.
Yeah, that's a good one. The example, there's, and actually this is kind of what we're looking at. There's bold. If you're really wanting to grow your database, bold will make you grow your database or push you out.
Yes.
Either
Yes, they
one.
will.
So if you really, really want the accountability and need the task to do that, you should take bold. For sure. Ignite's another one.
Mhm.
So yeah, there's lots of different things and plans that they can use both their strengths and weaknesses, leverage some of those weaknesses to other things to push themselves to really master something.
Getting a coach too.
Getting a coach, yeah, that's a great one. Okay, so we're about to do an activity in a second. So, and you can share this if you want to, but I want you to start thinking about yourself and self-mastery. I want you to think about your goal, whatever your goal is, and then also your strengths and weaknesses and what that plan is going to be. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do is somewhere write down your goal. Okay, and if you turn to page, I think it is actually page 21, but let me look.
Where can we find this book at?
I emailed it out a few days ago, and then I resent the material about an hour ago, I guess. But if you're unable to print it at home, I did print some copies, so you can come grab one after if you want to.
Okay, I see them.
Do you want this to be long-term or short-term goal?
It is completely up to you. Whatever your goal is. And then on page 21, we're going to take a minute and just to yourself, write down, it says to list 3 obstacles that you think might be hindering your success to hitting that goal. So it's page 21. So we're just going to take a minute, and I want you to write down, and if you don't have the book, you can still have something to write with. Write down 3 obstacles that you feel like are hindering your success to hitting this goal. I feel like I need some background music or something. All right, when you guys kind of finish up, let me know. I can kind of tell some people are still writing. All right, so everyone got a few things down? All right, so we're gonna do this next activity. We're actually going to do a little breakout session. So you guys will be here, obviously, and then I'm gonna break you guys on Zoom out into little rooms, and you're gonna have 10 minutes. And on page 23, there are 3 questions I want you guys to kind of talk about. The first one is sharing your strengths you feel that you have that will help you overcome these obstacles. And then what weaknesses might hinder you from overcoming the obstacles? How can you conquer these weaknesses? Work together to brainstorm these ideas. Are these obstacles movable? Utilizing your strengths and being aware of your weaknesses. What is your plan to get around and over these roadblocks? Is there something you can master that will help? And you're just going to discuss these and kind of come up with some action steps. So I'm going to give you guys about 10 minutes in your little groups, and then we're going to come back together and kind of discuss everyone's ideas, because you never know what your strength or weaknesses is someone else might also have, so you can really help each other. So I'm going to break up you guys, and then I'll have a little timer on, and then we'll get going. All right, so I got you guys in rooms. So here we go. You should get an invitation. So you'll hit the little invite and you should be sent to a room. Hi. I'll let y'all, I'm gonna go, Joy and Laura, do y'all see the little? There we go. Okay. There we go.
So was your goal business or personal?
My goal right now is to be more confident reaching out, like whether it be cold calls, public contact, advertising, that,
So just being more comfortable putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
knowing how, just take that step.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Mine was personal. I have been on a weight loss journey for 3 years,
Okay.
and I've gotten nowhere
Oh, really?
because just,
Yeah.
so what strengths do you feel that you have that will help you overcome those obstacles?
I like to make people feel good, to be honest, I don't know what strengths I have, to be honest.
Are you an outgoing person? Do you host a lot of events? Are you part of committees or,
I used to be,
mhm.
when I lived in Coleman, but,
Yeah.
not too much anymore.
Okay.
But
Do you have any other children?
I have a lot of children.
You have a lot of children?
Yeah.
So they're in school.
In sports.
Are you
yeah,
part of the PTA?
Not anymore, no.
Okay. So sports. So kids activities.
Mhm.
You're around a lot of parents
Mhm.
and a lot of other people. That could be one of your strengths, is being exposed to a lot of people a lot of times
Mhm.
and being exposed to those same people over and over again. They see your face, pass out cards, pass out goodie bags.
Mhm.
Like I know with my son's baseball team, like we have to bring snacks 2 or 3 times a
Yeah.
season, putting them in like little bags and attaching your card to them. Stuff like that, or like this Halloween, because of, COVID and everything else, like everybody's like, "Oh."
Yeah.
So our neighborhood, a lot of people are doing traditional handouts, a lot of people aren't participating at all, and a lot of people are actually doing like a treat table with individual like bags or boxes or cups full of candy that they can just grab without having to dig into a bowl. There's a place called Candy Cartons. You can actually have Halloween, like they have Halloween templates, and it puts your information automatically on there and they ship them to you. So you just make up the little treat boxes, fill them with candy and send them out.
Oh, wow.
Instant
What's that
advertising.
called?
Candy Cartons. Yeah, Candy Cartons. They're on Facebook. You can look them up on Facebook. That's how I found them the first time. And then they also have a website.
Okay.
So, but doing that, just like putting yourself in front of people with that soft touch at first,
Mhm.
and then see if anybody comes up to you the next time and asks you about real estate, or, talking to one of the parents about stuff and asking, how are you doing? Da, 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 da.
Mhm.
Obviously, people are probably constantly asking you, how are you
Yeah.
feeling? And just say, I've just been so busy with work, and the market's just on fire right now, so it's got us all crazy. It's just unheard of what this market's doing right now. Start it off like that
Mhm.
and see if they ask questions.
How would you do that on a phone call?
On a phone call, like just
Reach out
talking
to somebody
to,
that you've had business with, like construction wise or something. How would you?
ask them how they're doing, ask them how business is going.
Mhm.
They'll usually ask you in return. Or if they say, man, we've been swamped, say, oh my goodness, I know the feeling, this market is crazy right now. Or just say the real estate market is crazy right now. It's got us all just in a whirlwind. We have no idea what to do right now. So just start it that way. Just let it come naturally. Usually if you ask someone what they do or, how their business is going, they're 90% likely to reciprocate
Mhm.
and ask you the same.
Okay.
So that's how you get into that conversation.
Okay.
All right, so
What
my
about
strengths, so mine was personal, mine is lose 55 pounds. So my strength is that I really want to.
Yeah.
Like, my want and my need to do this is super strong.
Okay.
So, but my weaknesses are lack of time, lack of motivation,
Mhm.
and lack of discipline.
Yeah.
So like those are my 3 big obstacles.
Do you have like a friend that wants to do the same thing?
No.
Because I know when I used to work out, my friend, I finally got her into it and we would go to the gym together
Mhm.
and it would motivate me more.
Well, and see, we like canceled the gym
Yeah.
subscription when COVID hit.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah,
I just,
it's hard to get motivated when.
I don't know if I want to go. I mean, I'm sure they clean, but
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know how well they clean.
Yeah, I also heard like if you get a picture of like the body that you're wanting to do that and just keep it there like in your mirror or something and look at it every day.
I need to do that, a picture of my old self.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm sure you
I
were
need to do
slender.
that.
All of us were when we were in high school or whatever.
Of course.
I don't know if it looked like I was in high school, but.
Oh, no. I want to look like I did when I gave birth to my son
Uh-huh.
in 2014. That's what I want to look like.
So maybe get a picture of.
Yeah.
You need to find somebody, definitely, because my problem is motivation too,
Mhm.
and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Definitely need to
my
find somebody that wants to do the
husband
same thing.
He's,
I'm happy if I'm bad, whatever.
well, I mean, and he's like, I took a picture of him and our son the other day. He was like, oh my God, I've got to get back to working out. And I was like, you have dad bod, it's sexy on you.
Yeah.
And he was like,
That's a husband, that's when you get
Because he's
married.
like,
Yeah.
he's at the heaviest he's ever been,
Oh, wow.
and so am I.
Okay.
And so it's like,
Yeah.
this is
No.
not okay, this is not okay.
No.
So, but he has less discipline than I do. So it's like,
Yeah.
mm-mm. I tried with my best friend, we tried to be accountability partners.
Yeah.
And that didn't work out because we're both just like, so I'm not feeling so great today. And I'd be like, dude,
Yeah.
I was totally gonna text you the same thing. So that doesn't work
That sounds like
either.
me and my friend.
Yeah,
But we
that
would end
doesn't
up
work.
having to go late at night
Mhm.
because work all day and then kids and everything, and we would end up having to sneak off. And then after that, the problem was we wanted to go eat.
Yes, yes,
We're like, we're just defeating the purpose.
yeah, yeah. You go out and grab a margarita and some tacos and
Exactly,
talk
it was
about how
tacos.
great we did at the
It was
gym.
tacos, seriously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've heard that if you put a picture up every day and look at it, that can maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's one of those things, sometimes, like, I know when I was married before, I was way, when we divorced, I went through this phase and I got real skinny and.
Yeah,
So sometimes
same
it
here.
takes like,
Same here.
it takes
Yeah.
like life-changing experiences to get you to actually do
Right.
stuff, so I don't know. Yeah.
I don't want to get divorced again.
No. I'm done with that.
Yes,
Jesus.
definitely done. All right, so what were your weaknesses?
Over here on this one, or wait?
Yeah, on that one.
On the obstacles, or?
No, the
Oh,
partner
weaknesses on this?
exercise. So it's page 23.
Oh.
There you go.
Okay.
So the top one is your strengths.
Okay, so my obstacles for that one was like, my main obstacle right now is like money and personal, because like I'm going through a very bad custody thing.
Oh, goodness.
My whole savings is gone for life.
Yeah.
And so, like, Jeremy's my coach. I'll
Mhm.
tell him, like, I really want to do this, but I still have to do my other side job to make money.
Right,
I
yeah,
have to. So
absolutely.
that's my main obstacle right there. And then the fear, of course, like, I don't want somebody to be mean to me. I don't like.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like that, so.
I don't either. I
Um,
don't do rejection well, but when I do make cold calls and stuff, because that's where a lot of people's fear comes from, is like that fear of them saying no.
yeah,
It's like they're not saying no to you as a person, they're saying no to what you're offering.
Yeah.
Like the service, not you. It's like if you were going door to door to sell vacuums, like not everybody needs a new vacuum.
yeah,
Not everybody wants to work with an agent.
Yeah.
The point is you call until you find the one that's ready.
mhm. That's the
It
problem
used
too.
to be 10 no's to every one yes. Now it's 25 no's to one yes. So you make 25 calls, you're 75% likely to get a yes.
Yes. That's another thing too, like, I'm not knowledgeable still, like, I haven't actually had a listing or anything.
You don't
So
have to.
Jeremy, he can talk. he's on his toes, like, and I'm just like, I don't think I can do that. If they
I'm
ask me a
the
question, I'd be like,
productivity coach. I'm the other productivity coach. And I can't do what Jeremy does. Jeremy is his own person. Like, I can't do what Jeremy does. Oh, no, it is very intimidating, which is why he's not my coach.
Yeah, my weaknesses on that right there though is, I don't know. I don't know what to call it really. Just. It's just fear of failure, I guess. That's what it is.
Okay. Now, are these obstacles movable? So utilizing your strength of being part of that huge kids sports community and being aware of your weaknesses of the fear of failure, what is your plan to get around those roadblocks?
Plan. I guess to start, like you said, maybe do a goodie bag or something, you know, something not actually.
Kind of in their face,
Yeah,
like,
kind of like
you know,
subtle, like, here you go,
Right.
here's some candy, you know.
and then having those natural born conversations. Because our business is literally all about building relationships. On average, it takes 6 to 8 touches for someone to actually remember your face and what you do. So you can talk to these people at every game. Towards the end of the season, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, she's that realtor.
Yeah.
And mine is kind of like you said, just putting that picture in my head of what I want to look like and what I need to get back to from a health standpoint,
Yeah,
not just a
yeah.
vanity, you know, viewpoint, just a health viewpoint.
Yeah.
Just getting myself back there where I had more energy to do things with my kid.
All right, y'all, we are back. Everyone enjoyed, oh, I'm moving the screen. Did everyone enjoy the little breakout sessions? Yeah. All right, so let's start from the top. I don't know if y'all want to like do this by group or whoever just wants to share. Strengths that you feel that you have that will help you overcome some of your obstacles.
Time blocking,
Time blocking.
yes. Creating that habit.
Yeah, creating habits.
Building the confidence of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
I think my biggest strength is just determination to get done what I need to get done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
me
giving
and
up.
pretty much the same, being determined.
Yeah, like that determination and that passion's a big thing to help drive you. Okay, what about weaknesses that might hinder you?
Lack of discipline.
Lack of discipline.
I think in our group, we all agreed, having the confidence.
Okay,
So I guess lack of confidence.
yeah, lack of discipline, lack of confidence. Anyone else?
We talked about mom guilt kind of holding us back from taking that time that we need to do stuff.
Yeah.
You know, taking that time away from the family to actually get the business done.
Mm-hmm. So, what are some things y'all talked about where how you can conquer these weaknesses?
Taking the 66-day challenge.
Yeah, so if you are struggling with habits, or I guess a discipline, lack of discipline for something, you can take the 66-day challenge. It is in the One Thing. I think it talks about it in the One Thing book, but you can actually find it really on Google. It takes 66 days to make a habit. So it's a calendar, and
You mark off the days.
you mark off the days, and you put your goal, and then you just mark them off.
Yep.
So that's a free tool if you need something to help you make a habit.
Do something like that each month. I use the Commit 30 calendars. So every month you set a new goal and you take 30 days and you reward yourself if you've done it, or if you haven't, you do it again the next month. But it's a commit goal calendar that gives you 30 days to get something done.
How long have you been using that calendar?
Since January. I started it this year, and I actually just ordered my 2021 one because it's great. It really makes you see your progress in whatever you're doing. And it allows you to kind of be your own kind of guide to, did you do this? And you keep yourself accountable.
That's cool. Thanks for sharing that. I love calendars.
I do too. I love my bold planner though.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I love that thing so much.
What are other things? How can you conquer these weaknesses? Anyone have any ideas? Or other weaknesses that y'all might have talked about?
I think the fear of like just getting out and doing, like being connected with people, whether you know them, whether you don't, or if it's just your time of the day to like be in the presence of people. And one thing that has helped me a tremendous amount getting over that and repetition of doing it is handing out business cards. Because when I first started this, like handing out a business card was like, but now it's just like such a conversation starter.
Yeah. And now it's like nothing, right? All right, what else? Anything else?
We talked about just having a natural conversation with someone and wanting to actually learn more about them to start with. Like, just, hey, how are you? What do you do? Oh, that's awesome. Were y'all affected by COVID at all? How has business been since then? 9 times out of 10, people are going to reciprocate that and ask you about that. And that's when you go, oh man, the real estate market's it actually boomed when COVID hit. And, everybody hated the inside of their house for 7 months and now they all want to sell. So just having those natural conversations with people.
Yeah.
Looks like maybe getting spouse or significant other involved, like behind you, to kind of like push you.
Yeah.
Like
Mm-hmm.
when days that they see that, you're just not.
Yeah.
Having that
Child,
support.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Child,
I think sharing your goals with your family is huge,
Yeah.
whether it's business, personal, mental, whatever,
Right.
health-wise, whatever it is, getting your family on board, definitely. And I think that is something that I know probably wouldn't ease the mom guilt completely, but
Well, I mean, if you have older kids too, it's like posting your goals and like maybe your lead gen time or something like that. Like if you see me not making calls between 3 and 5, tell me, hey mom, I thought you were supposed to be making calls right now.
Yeah.
That gets your kids involved in the process.
Yeah.
and lets them be a part of it so they feel more needed.
Mhm.
So that kind of eliminates some of that mom guilt, having your children involved in the
Yeah.
process, or parents or spouses, you know, just, hey, these are the things that I'm supposed to be doing. If you see me not doing them, remind me.
Yeah.
So,
I think if there's ever an event too, having them come along,
Right.
like when we did Madison Street Festival the last few years, just inviting your spouse to come help or your kids to come help and just hang out. And I think even clients are drawn to families,
Yeah.
like they're drawn to families. And if they see that your whole family's there, like how cool is that? But your kids giving out candy to
Other kids.
like, you know, pass it, you know, kids love to pass out things, like and hand out things,
Mhm.
like just getting them
Flyers.
involved in different stuff and going with you.
Mhm. Oh, and if you're ever like putting like door hangers or flyers on houses, have your kids, if you have kids, let them do it. Like walk them door to door. They love to be involved. Let them hang the door hangers on the knob. Let them knock on the door. Of course, be with them. You obviously don't want your kid going up to the door by themselves. But you know, just let the kid be involved.
Yeah.
And people are more likely to respond to children. So
Mhm.
there's that too.
Okay, so some of these obstacles we've talked about, are they movable? And how do you, or can you utilize your strengths to, and be more aware of your weaknesses? What is your plan to get around these obstacles? Y'all talk about making plans or trying to get over these obstacles at all? I don't know if I got to that.
Or just knowing when to say no to certain things.
Say that again, Joy?
I said just knowing when to say no to certain things.
Oh, yeah. I think that's one thing I struggle with. I can't say no to anything, but just remembering in the back, like even I really need to probably print this out and post it somewhere, that if you're saying yes to something, that means you're saying no to something else. And that no could be your family, that no could be dinner with your significant other, that no could be you taking a break. I mean, that no could be anything. So just being well aware what you are saying no to when you're saying yes to something. And is it worth it? I think that's a big thing. And I definitely struggle with that. I think making sure your family knows your goals is a big thing to help overcome those obstacles also.
Yeah, I mean, if you're the only one that knows your goal, there's no one to help hold you accountable.
Yeah.
And like I think one of my biggest goals, and I'm sure we'll talk about this next time we're together on this journey, but is like knowing a little bit more about the 80-20 rule, but knowing what fits where in that rule. You know, that where am I supposed to be more productive? Like what's going to be the best outcome, you know, that's going to grow me as a person, but also my business, and being able to determine like where can I spend more time doing very, very strenuous work, and then where can I kind of back off and like still get work done, but be, you know, it's just a different outcome. So.
Yeah, I love the 80-20 rule and the success list versus the to-do list. Like, I love that. It's probably one of my favorites. And I know Kira is going to lead that one, and she'll do a really good job. So yeah, what else? Anything else? Is there something that you can master that will help?
Time blocking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I need to master time blocking too, because I'm dual career and trying to merge both of them. One job takes precedence over the other, and I think I need to find a better way to balance that.
Yeah. Any other,
I think time blocking
sorry,
for me also would be away. Can you hear me? Hello?
It's
Can you
coming,
hear me?
I sound like a robot. I think it's the signal. Hmm. I'm sorry.
Okay, what about now?
It's a little better.
No.
So try.
Oh, that's okay. I was just gonna say time blocking for me would be the,
Yeah, it's just something that's-
I think it muted yourself. But time, you said time blocking too?
yes.
Okay. Sorry, I think it's just bad signal. for some reason. You're also moving very slowly. So that must be a signal thing.
Okay.
I'm hearing that time blocking is a big thing.
Yeah, it is.
So, what else?
Okay,
Are
I'm
there,
gonna come on you.
is there anything else? Action steps? Anything else y'all discuss that y'all want to share? Do y'all have anything else to share?
Mm-mm.
All right, so if you have been around Keller Williams long enough, you have heard of AHAs. So you'll hear AHA, like after really every training mostly, you'll be asked for some AHAs. So what were your AHA moments? Or maybe you know of some action steps that you'll be making. Or maybe there's one thing that you know you got to work on. Just what was your AHA moment?
Thinking outside the box.
Thinking outside the box? Yeah.
Yeah, just thinking like directly contacting face to face someone, you know, kind of goodie bags and things.
Yeah, yeah.
Indirect things.
Mm-hmm. Joy, were you gonna?
Well, for me, I was thinking because of with so much going on, a lot of things have changed in my household. So I think for me to being committed and just to trying to get things done, I'm just gonna have to stay up later to make sure that I'm doing something real estate related each day, every day.
And even if you're looking at your calendar and like you said, I think if you just focus on one thing with real estate and not feeling like you have to get everything done, that way you're not staying up too late because you do need that time, you know, with your family too. But like you said, things have changed and some people just don't, that's their day job now is staying at home with family.
Yeah, I've become a teacher.
Oh, yeah.
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 So during the daytime, I'm teaching, you know, then so just having to rearrange, you know,
Yeah.
how things used to be. So
Yeah. Anyone else have an aha to share?
Just making sure that you have your support system in place and posting your goals where you can see them tangibly
Yeah.
in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even
Right.
a picture of your end result.
Yeah.
So you can see it.
I think my aha moment is something that I think Sarah said, to just include your kids in the process and make them make you accountable and maybe get them involved. I think that's something that I hadn't really thought about doing before, but I think that's a great idea.
All right. Anyone else want to share anything before we wrap this up? I have enjoyed this. I hope y'all enjoyed it. This is good conversation. Anyone else? Going once? Austin's thinking. He's unmuted and he's thinking. So.
I'm always thinking, I mean, that's just me.
What kind of Starbucks drink did you have?
Y'all, no good. It's a nitro cold brew with pumpkin sweet cream because I have not had any pumpkin spice this season. So I was like, you know what? I might as well have a little today.
That sounds good, actually.
It was good. Given the I think my biggest aha today was, you know, in real estate, it really can consume every single, minute that you have if you let it. So just being able to, like, of course, live by the 80-20 rule and kind of apply it to your personal and business life, especially, you know, to be able to have a social life, but also real estate, and then kind of where to tie all that in together. You know, I go to restaurants all the time and I'll see people out, or they'll see something I posted on Facebook. We'll talk about that. And they're like, well, how's the real estate? How's everything going? And so just being able to connect with people personally, but also, in real estate, and kind of wrap a conversation anyway in that it's kind of like a light bulb, you know.
Well, and that's what they say. It's like real estate is a relationship business.
Yeah.
So like even on your Facebook page, you want to post something business, something personal, something funny, something relatable, like doing all those things. So it's not all about business. We're about building relationships and having conversations. So not everything is going to revolve around business. You want to get to know people on a personal level. That way they trust you. And you know that you're the person that they'll go to when it's time for them to buy or sell, or their family.
And with everything going on this year with COVID, I mean, people want that.
Yeah.
People want those relationships. They want to have those moments with people.
Right.
That
People
just-
feel so
they
just
want,
put out,
Yeah.
just out of self and out of mind and out of everywhere.
Yeah.
So.
well, awesome, guys. Well, I've enjoyed it. I hope that y'all have too. I do not know when the 80-20 training is, but I think it's next week. I don't know what day. It could be next week. I should have looked. I will send out that information for the packet and stuff, and it will most likely be the same setup. So if you want to come in instead of being on Zoom, you're welcome to, but also be on Zoom. And if something happens and Kara cannot come in person, we'll let you guys know. But
It is next
it's
Wednesday.
next Wednesday
At 1 o'clock.
At 1 o'clock. So the 21st at 1 o'clock.
Mhm.
So I'll probably send all that stuff out on Monday. So watch out for an email with the new, or the next packet on Monday. So yeah, thank you guys. I hope you have a wonderful weekend because it's gorgeous outside this weekend. And yeah, we'll see y'all next time. Thank
Bye,
you
guys.
so much.
Thank you.
It was so good to meet y'all.
Nice to meet
And
you.
real quick, guys, we're having a voters registration on Sunday. So if you know anybody that needs to register to vote, make sure
Yeah,
they know.
they can
Yes.
come out to the office and sign on it.
Yes.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know how to stop recording. Stop recording.